All right, let's move on to talking about this last game. UNC versus Miami. This is at UNC. Look, my main focus on this thing. By the way, did you know that Mario Cristobal has yet to win a home ACC game? I found that out this week. I was listening to a show. He has yet to win a home ACC game. So maybe it kind of helps that they're on the road playing against UNC. I don't know how that
How does
actually
he get these recruits? Because the CFE guys, Dan mentioned today that Mario Cristobal is actually able to flip a 4-star from Georgia to Miami this week.
That kid flipped.
How do you watch that Miami game and say, I'm playing for them?
Bread.
I guess so.
He is.
John Ruiz is working his magic, I guess.
He's a really good recruiter. But here's what I'm really focused on. I think realistically, to project this game, Drake Maye is far and away the best quarterback that they've faced, and they made Haynes King look capable.
Yes.
Drake Maye could show up and do some things, and that defense that we've talked about. What are you laughing about?
They made Haynes King look like somebody that was going to transfer to a better program after this year. like Georgia Tech is his level, but yes. Miami was bad enough where it's like, you know what? He could play somewhere else. He could definitely take over in Florida. That's what they made him look like.
He didn't play great, but that final throw that he had was pretty nice for some of the throws that he has. Point is here, I think that Drake Maye and UNC they're going to win this game. They've got the most momentum. They've looked the best, and they need that question-ending statement win to say, some people are trying to doubt us right now. We think that we're better than the likes of Alabama and some of these other programs that are in that top discussion. We're undefeated for a reason. Put us on the table. I'm really focused on here, though. Does Mario Cristobal stop the bleeding? Forget if the guy was down or not. We all know his decision to, one, go for it, and then in the post-game press conference, not take responsibility, to deflect to the player who fumbled the ball, which we talked about how ridiculous that was for him to do it. There's a lot of bleeding right now. I can only imagine that there's a ton of bleeding going on in that locker room, having been on teams where stuff like that has happened before. Mm-hmm. Guys are talking. Can you at least put up a fight? Can you win the game would be huge, but can you at least put up a fight and play a close game? Because they got to do that. Otherwise, some serious questions are going to start to be had about Mario.
Yeah, it's either going to go one of two ways for Miami: bounce back or crumble. The one concern I have is that UNC down the stretch last year crumbled in pretty great fashion. They had a great win versus Wake Forest where they edged it out. Then they lost to Georgia Tech by 4, put them at 9-2. Then they lost to NC State, put them at 9-3. And then in the ACC championship game, got boat raced by Clemson. Clemson won by 29 points. I don't know if Mac Brown can win that big game. When it's all time to make it a football school, which it still won't be because of the basketball program, but if you want to have that Michigan, maybe mid to 2010s Michigan State football basketball school, look at this. We're starting to really elevate. You have to win one big game. Mac Brown had a chance last year to set it, and then they had to basically set the reset button for all the fans. Say, we missed that one. We missed a lot of them in a row. We were, getting a lot of hype, and then we shrunk in the sunlight. They are susceptible to doing that. I'm staying away from this game from picks. I'm staying away from this game with overall projections. It could be a maniac game. It could just be two crazed coaches and a bunch of players going out and playing football for who knows what team. It's going to be a maniac game. You called it, you called it the cancer game. I think
it was a cancerous match. I think it's a cancerous matchup because we were shown very clearly who Miami actually is. And I think that we overvalued the performance against Texas A&M because we thought Texas A&M was better than they actually were. It is a slippery slope that we have led ourselves on. We thought Texas A&M was good. They're really not. And then Miami beats them. And then now we're starting to think, Tyler Van Dyke's pretty good. Oh, this Miami team's looking pretty good. when they start to play some people in the ACC, they're really going to challenge Florida State. And then splat, we get to the bottom, we slide off the end of the slope, and we're like, why am I sitting in a pile of mud? Oh my God, we just lost to Georgia Tech. And even if you won that game, it was still an exposure of a lot of the issues. Most importantly, that Tyler Van Dyke as a quarterback, I have been very aggressive in criticizing him. He is somebody who, unless things are perfectly schemed up for him, like against Texas A&M, he's going to make mistakes. And you know what? I let the Miami crowd get to me, and they're upset with me that I was willing to criticize him after that game. You guys make so many excuses for bad quarterback play. Bad quarterback play. It's insane. It's ridiculous. I don't know how you do it. Normally, most fan bases, when your quarterback stinks, you go at him. You say that the kid sucks. Put somebody else in. He has had a couple good games in his career, but has continually made mistakes throughout his career. Multiple interceptions, bad performances. I just don't know why that there's this glazing going on for the guy.
Yeah, I feel you. I really hate when my quarterback clay gets dried out and I have to go buy a new package of it at the store. Like that bums me out. But
did I misspeak?
He said quarterback clay and then corrected it to play. The only way UNC wins this game is because of the splat last week. The splat for Miami, seeing that they have a loss and they're not in contention, that's the only reason that UNC wins, because the stakes have been dropped a little bit.
I disagree. I think that UNC clearly has the upper hand. I think the way that Drake Maye has been playing is proof that the guy is as good as he has been marketed. I know that he's beaten up on some bad teams, but dude, the guy can go out there and cook.
I'm with you. I am in on the bandwagon. Unfortunately, my focus for the quarterback position is going to be in the 5 to 6 guy and not the 1 to 2 guy. So I'm not watching a ton of Drake Maye because I know he's going to go to Tampa and carve up everybody in the NFC South. Like I'm preparing for it. So I'm more focused on, like, Michael Penix, Shedeur Sanders, somebody that Atlanta could get. That's what I'm looking at. But Drake Maye is legit. I think he has been received properly